Hi everyone. Okay, so we're going to take a look and just review all of the math that we've worked on and go over all of it so you can go ahead and check it and grade it on your own. So I'm looking right now. I have to get my tools ready. I'm looking at page 697, and right at the bottom I have something to do. Some plane shapes are made by connecting line segments at their endpoints. One example is a square. Describe a square using math words. A square has 4 line segments. The line segments meet only at their end points. So end points. And I'm not going to write the whole thing, but that's what it would look like, end points. So now I move on to my next page. I'm going to clear that. Plane shapes have length and width, but no thickness, so they are called two-dimensional shapes. Draw plane shapes. A closed shape starts and ends at the same point. In the space below, draw some examples of closed shapes. So whatever you draw is fine as long as it's closed. So you don't want to draw something that looks like that. You want to make sure it's totally closed. So if you're going to draw an open, it says open, an open shape does not start and end with the same point. So here we would draw something like that. Like that. Is the plane shape at the right a closed shape or an open shape? Explain how you know. So this is a closed shape because and if you scroll up, because it starts and ends at the same point, wherever that is. So you're going to go ahead and answer in a complete sentence how you know that that is a closed shape. Write how many line segments the shape has. Okay, so here we go. This one has 3. Circle all the words that describe the shape. Well, this is considered a ray because it does have a point, but it also has a line and they're connected together, which makes it a ray. This is a closed shape. This is an open shape. And this is a line segment because it has 2 points to end it. Write whether the shape is open or closed. Open, closed, open, closed. How many line segments does the shape have? So if I look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Write whether the shape is open or closed. Open. Oh, nope, sorry. Closed. Open. Closed. And closed. Brittany says there are 2 endpoints in the shape down at the right. Is she correct? Explain. What's the error? Now, error means that there's something wrong. So she is wrong because there's only one endpoint, which is right here. This shows that it is a line that will go on forever. So the arrow pointing tells us that it's a line that will go on forever. Explain how you can make the shape at the right a closed shape. Change the shape so it is a closed shape. You can make it a closed shape by connecting both line segments. You can make it a closed shape. So if let's see. You can make it a closed shape by connecting the two open line segments. You probably did a better job than me. It's a little hard to work this mouse. Look at Carly's drawing at the right. What did she draw? How is it like a line? How is it different? Change the drawing so that it is a line. Okay, so look at Carly's drawing to the right. What did she draw? She drew a ray. How is it like a line? One side goes on forever. One side has an end point. Change the drawing so that it is a line. Okay, all I would do is make an arrow like that. Draw a closed shape in a workspace by connecting 5 line segments at their endpoints. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let me try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I drew a pentagon. Draw each shape where it belongs in the table. Okay, so a closed shape would be this one. So this goes there. Open shape, that's an open shape, so I'm going to draw that one here. That's an open shape. And that's a closed shape. Describe the plane shapes. 4 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 segments. Open or closed? That one is open. This one is closed. Carl wants to show a closed shape in his drawing. Show and explain how to make the drawing a closed shape. I add a line segment. I connect one line segment to another line segment by using a line segment. The shape of a fish pond at a park is shown below. Is the shape open or closed? Closed. Draw an open shape and a closed shape. Label your shapes. That is a closed shape. That is an open shape. Okay, so now we're on the practice. How many line segments does this shape have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is part of a line has one endpoint and continues in one direction. Has one endpoint and continues in one direction. That would be a ray. Looking at this review, what multiplication sentence does this array show? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 times 8 equals 32. What is the unknown factor and quotient? 9 times 3 is 27. 27 divided by 9 is 3. What fraction is equivalent or equal to 4/8? So if I shade this in, here's the 4/8, and I look at this, and I kind of forget that everything else is written there, I could see that I just colored in 1/2, 1 out of 2 colored in. Mr. McTavish has 30 students from his class going on a field trip to the zoo. He put 6 students in each group. How many groups of students will he make? So if there's 30 students, he wants to divide. Let's see if this makes sense. How many groups of students would he make? So if he made 5 groups of students, and he wants to have 6 in each group, that looks like it is going to equal the 30 students that are here, so that makes sense. Sometimes someone might try 30 times 6, which would be 180. How many groups of students? Well, that doesn't seem like it would make sense. He wouldn't make 180 groups because there's only 30 students. Okay, so here we're working with angles and vertexes. The vertex is that point. And I'm just going to scroll down. And I see that I have a right angle, I have a less than a right angle, and I have greater than a right angle. 2 angles are, so I want to look at Jason's drawing. So here's Jason's drawing. He has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 4 angles. So in Jason's shape, 2 of the angles are right angles. 1 is a less than a right angle, and 1 is more than. So we have one that's acute and one that is obtuse. Okay, I'm going to go to number 1. How many angles are in the triangle at the right? 3. Use the corner of the sheet of the paper to tell whether the angle is right angle, less than a right angle, or greater than a right angle. So this one is greater than, this one is less than, and that one is a right angle. Write how many of each type of angle the shape has. So this one, whenever you see this square, that means it's a right angle. So this one has 1, 2, 3 right angles. And then I have to look here and here. So less than a right would be 0, greater than a right would be 2. This next one, I don't see any of those squares, so it has 0 right this angle and this angle look like they are less than a right, so there's 2. And these two look like they are greater than a right. This one, I see all of these squares, so I know that there are 4 right angles, 0 and 0. Use the corner of the sheet of paper to tell whether it is a right angle, less than, or greater than a right angle. Okay, so that one is less, that one is a right, and that one is greater. Write how many of each type of angle the shape has. 1, 2, 0. 4, 0, 0. 2, 1, 1. Describe the type of angles formed when you divided a circle into 4 equal parts. Okay, so if I took a circle and I divided it into 4 parts, if I look here at these angles, they all look like they would be a plus. So every one of these angles would be right angles. Holly drew the 4 shapes below. Which shape does not have a right angle? Looks like this one. Now we're supposed to look at shape Q and find out how many are right angles and greater than and less than. So this one has 1, 2 right angles, 1 greater and 1 less. This one has 4 right angles, 0 and 0, 3, 16. Circle a number or word from each box to complete the sentence to describe all the angles in this shape. There are blank right angles and blank angles less or greater. So I see 2 right angles and 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I look at that, I see 4 angles that are greater than a right angle. Okay, I'm just going to put the answers down for these. Jeff has a square piece of art paper. He cuts across it from one corner to the opposite corner to make 2 pieces. What is the total number of sides and angles in both of the new shapes? Well, if he had a piece of paper, so I'm going to draw a picture. With geometry, it's good to draw pictures because your geometry is the study of shapes. So you need to draw the shape sometimes to help you figure it out. And he cut it, so I would have basically two triangles. So what's the total number of sides and angles in both of the new shapes? So 1, 2, 3. That's one shape. And then if I separated that one, I would see a shape that looked like this. So 1, 2, 3. So there are 6 sides, and that means there would be 6 angles. Draw an example of a shape that has at least one right angle, one angle less than a right angle, and one angle greater than a right angle. Label the angles. Okay, so one right angle. This is a shape that would have one right angle, and it also has 2 less than. Let's see if I could draw one that has all 3. So if I go here, 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 and then this way, I would have a right angle, a less than right angle, and a greater than a right angle here. Yours might look different, but as you can see, all of mine, I have all of the angles into it. What describes this angle? Greater than. How many right angles does this shape have? 1, 2, 3, 3. What fraction of the group is shaded? 1 out of how many are there? 6. Which one is, okay, I would go 4/8 is greater because the numerator is higher. What is straight, continues in both directions, and does not end? Well, that's what it looks like. It is a line. How many line segments does this shape have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Okay, so we're finally on our polygons. All of these would be considered plane shapes. This is a closed shape. It has curved paths, and that is, it doesn't have any line segments, and it's not a polygon. This one is an open shape. It does have curved paths. This one is closed. It does have line segments, and it is a polygon. This one's closed. It has curved paths. Okay, so let's take a look at the rest of these questions. Polygons are always plane shapes. Polygons are always closed shapes. Polygons are never open shapes. Plane shapes are sometimes polygons. Okay, so we reviewed all of this the last time. 4, 5 sides, 5 angles, 6 sides, 6 angles, 8 sides, 10. How many sides does the stop sign have? 8. How many angles? 8. So the stop sign is the shape of an octagon. The shape at the right is a polygon. Circle the words that describe that shape. Well, it's a plane shape. It's a closed shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 sides, so I know it has to be a quadrilateral. It does have line segments. Does not have curved paths, so I was able to select 4 different descriptions. Is the shape a polygon? No. Yes. No. Quadrilateral, pentagon, decagon. And you can go back up and take a look to make sure you are correct with those. Jake said A and E are all polygons. Does this statement make sense? A through E are polygons. No, it doesn't make sense because some are open and some have curved paths. So that's something you would want to put into your answer. So no, because some of them are open planes and they have closed paths. I am a closed shape made of 6 line segments. I have 2 angles less than a right angle and no right angles. What am I? So I know if it has 6 line segments, I know that it has to be a hexagon, because a hexagon would have 6 sides. Now I'm supposed to draw this. So I have 2 angles less than a right angle. So I have 6, and it has no right angle. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No right angles. Okay, what? I have 2 angles less than a right angle. So it would be here and here. Is every closed shape a polygon? Use a drawing to help explain. No, because sometimes you will have a curved path and it's closed. So this circle would not be considered a polygon. Ivan says that the shape at the right is an octagon. Do you agree or disagree? Well, I'm going to have to count how many sides it has to tell me whether it's an octagon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, because it has 9 sides. Select true or false for the description of this shape. Is this a polygon? True. Is it an open shape? False. Is it a hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. True. Is it a pentagon? False. Is this shape a polygon? No. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a hexagon. Mr. Murphy has an old coin that has 10 sides. If its shape is a polygon, how many angles does the coin have? 10. Lynn says that an octagon has 6 sides. Chris says that it has 8 sides. Which statement is correct? Chris, with 8 sides. Draw a pentagon. Explain how you knew the number of sides and angles to draw. Well, I know a pentagon has 5 sides, so all I would have to do is draw the shape that has 5 sides. Okay, number 1 is a quadrilateral. Number 2 is a polygon. Is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a hexagon. Now let's take a look at the spiral review. How many right angles does this have? 4. Erica has 8 necklaces. 1/4 of the necklaces are blue. How many are blue? So I have to go 1/4 of 8 equals 8 divided by 4 equals 2. So 2 of them would be blue. What is straight, is part of a line, and has 2 endpoints? A line segment. What describes the angle? That is a less than angle.